Intentions transform goals into mindsets. Intentions determine what the actual experience of reaching the goal will be like, fun or frightening. If you ever had a 5-year-old bring you a present they made with their own bare hands, you'll know just how special intentions are compared to goals or targets. For the 5-year-old, the intention was to show you how much they loved you by devoting their time and their effort towards making that card or that finger painting or that paddle pop stick man. Their execution probably meant they shot a bit wide of the target though. But it's a great illustration of why we should value effort as much or more than results. It's also a ticket into understanding why intentions matter more than achievements when it comes to our own personal happiness. So let's look at this concept from a deeper perspective. The problem with happiness is that we're taught to pursue it without also being taught that it is at best temporary and fleeting. Because happiness is an emotion, its very nature means that it's momentary, a short-lived experience, which, if it's going to be prolonged, is in need of another input as soon as that first surge of happiness is gone. You just watch a 3-year-old at Christmas and you get what I'm talking about. The expressions of glee are followed by requests for more presents, all of which is a bit intense and wearing, which means we're not far from tears. So, setting an intention is really one step above setting a goal. The idea with an intention is that you're creating a mindset which is meant to endure or permeate the circumstances that you find yourself in. For example, you may have a holiday or a new car on the horizon, both of which, by the way, are great goals to have. An intention for the car might be that every time you step into your new ride, you remind yourself how well you've done and how lucky you are, so that the car itself becomes a message point to your subconscious about the state of mind that you want to have or that you're wishing to experience whilst you're in the car. An intention for the holiday might be that you remain cool, calm and collected regardless of what happens. And I had this myself recently when our family went on our first beach holiday in about 5 years. And my goal was a holiday, a time with my kids and our granddaughter in front of the beach. And I was very clear on that. I saved up for it, planned the time, booked the accommodation. All of that could be called goals or mileposts towards the real goal. But my intention was to be as present as possible and enjoy whatever was happening regardless of the weather, the surf conditions, the moods or the inclinations of others, the food, you name it. In other words, it was my intention to have a great time regardless of what we're actually doing at any given moment. Perhaps weight loss is an even better illustration of what intentions can do to transform an experience, because that's what an intention does. It takes an ordinary process and elevates it into something truly worthwhile. With weight loss, the goal is usually to arrive at some target, some number of pounds or kilos that's significantly less than we might be at the moment. It's more often than not triggered by some impending event like a wedding or a family gathering or something as simple as the beach season coming up. Whatever the reasons, the goal without an intention is usually the reason that the program or the diet is such an emotional roller coaster. So jumping on the scales each morning to be either excited or devastated means that we have good and bad days that are dictated more by fluid retention or fluid loss than anything else. No wonder most diets don't last. They're embarked on under duress, using denial as the main weapon, by people desperate for a quick change to a condition created by years of careless overindulgence. The real problem, though, is a lack of intention. The sooner you understand that intention relates to mindset while some target is being pursued, the sooner you'll find the ability to calmly go after what you want without being dragged off purpose or off target by whatever is dramatic and demanding your attention today. Once the intention is set to enjoy the change in health routine, you'll notice I didn't say diet, then it becomes easy to look at the big picture. And for most people, the big picture is not really about the weight loss. It's about their intention to live a healthier life, to have more energy, to feel lighter and stronger, to sleep better, to be able to run and to play and to be more alive and vibrant, and of course to fit into that pair of jeans that's waiting up at the end of the wardrobe. So intentions are important because they transform goals into mindset. Goals are things, which is great, but mindsets are states of mind that were actually dominant for us while we're experiencing something. Now you might know what I mean when I ask if you know someone who's going to be miserable tomorrow but they've made the decision already. That intention will ruin their day after day, for the rest of their lives if they don't snap out of it. You also probably know someone who's going to be bright and happy tomorrow, having made the decision already. And that intention makes their day after day, for the rest of their lives. So intentions matter. They matter big time, and they should be the most significant part of your goal setting. They're also pretty easy to find. Just sit with your goals and ask yourself why you want these targets to be met. Once you find an emotion, you'll have found your intention. From there, it's plain sailing because you can give yourself the reward of that emotion today. You don't have to wait until you've reached the goal. You can happily pursue your goals rather than pursue your goals hoping that they make you happy.